Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sonia and I teach people how to trust their innate divine compass, their intuition. And today I am so excited because I have an extra special guest and we are going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects, spirituality, friendship, fun. And today I want to introduce you to my best friend in the whole wide world, Haley.
Hi everyone, I'm Haley.
Hi Haley. One of my favorite ways to talk about intuition and spirituality is to have this little nugget help me be a really wonderful container. So we wanted to share some of our favorite ways that we use our friendship to deepen our spiritual practice, our intuition, and better trust ourselves, the relationship, in the moment. So, Haley, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? Huh?
Well, let's see. We are currently in my hometown and where I'm currently living, Anacortes. We're in my garden. And yeah, I like to garden, which I guess actually dovetails really nicely into something. Gardening is super spiritual for me and like being outside and being in nature. And that's something that Sonia and I share a lot when she comes to visit. This morning we went for a hike in the woods and jumped in the water that had that nice little September bite to it.
Clean the old energy bod.
Good reset for sure. Yeah, I spend a lot of time outside. I like to do art. I like to, oh man.
So many different things. Listen to music, but I feel like one thing that I love, I come every year up to Anacortes to visit Haley. And one thing that I really love to do is to be in nature. And she, in terms of all of my different spiritual practices and things, it's not only grounding, but it's so supportive. And being out in nature and being places like this are one of my favorite ways to connect with my spirit.
Absolutely.
To get present, to just start to notice, turn things over than just what's going on in my mind.
And it helps to create almost like a funnel for your attention and your energy. So, I mean, for me, listening to running water is really good for me. So I like to go to the ocean a lot. And yeah, listening to the water helps to create focus, or being in the forest. I also am a big fan of animal medicine, paying attention to animals and their little lessons for us, whether it's squirrels or ravens or even caterpillars, learning to pay attention to and having less distraction and focusing on these like really beautiful little things that are full of so much information, so much like divine information.
Yeah. And what I love and one of my favorite things about our friendship is that, you know, we talk about intuition residing not only in the present moment, but that we get so cut off from our little throat chakra. This is where our intuition often goes to die. But when you can have a good container, believing eyes, and share your intuitive hits, your nudges, those things that start to grab your attention, you'll see that not only your intuition, but your trust starts to blossom. And so one of my favorite things that I love with Haley, not only as a container, is that we love to share either our stories, our different card pulls, our dreams. And I feel like for you, Haley, what is it like talking about, you know, having a container, talking about these things out loud for you? People know how I feel about it.
I'll say for me, having you as my best friend and being able to share these spiritual experiences that I have and my own spiritual development and spiritual projects, I would say it is incredibly validating. I think that sometimes it can be easy if you are not necessarily in a spiritual community. Sometimes it can be easy to doubt, or it can feel not real, and or it can feel like you're imagining it. But being able to talk to someone else about it and having that validation just makes it feel just more real and important and honored, and makes it and almost like gives it more space in my life. I think that when I have someone to share it with, it makes it more of a priority and something that is really important.
Yeah, I love that. I feel like, do you talk to people who else do you talk to about your spiritual practices, with your intuition, anything like that? I feel like, do you feel comfortable talking to anybody about it?
I think that the older I get, the more open I am about talking about that. But with that said, it is something that I really honor within myself. And so I can be protective about it. And it's not necessarily something that I'm willy-nilly about sharing, but it is an important part of who I am. And so I do have other various friends that I do talk to about that. I try to share with my brother. Our father passed away about 5 years ago, and a lot of my spiritual connection is usually channeled through my dad. And so I like to talk to him about that. To also, I want to encourage my brother to have, I mean, not even a spiritual practice, but
Yeah.
I want to normalize him having a connection with our dad. So I talk to him. But yeah, mostly in friendships. I think that that's where I find my, I don't know, just reflecting back to me.
Yeah, and what I even love about that is it's so important because when, I obviously, as you know, had the privilege of growing up in an intuitive family. And when we could even just start to talk about it and having your own relationship with how that looks, what it looks like, it starts to normalize the conversation and we get to like come out of the closet. And so even just starting to give voice and language and grounded language is a really beautiful way that we can start to bring people in. Because I hear so many people say, I want to have a spiritual community, or I want to have somebody that I can practice these different things with, and nobody gets me. But language is really important, and even if we just start to talk about it. So, I'd say this, Haley, what is one of your favorite tools that you want to share with my sweet friends that either grounds you or connects you or anything, whether it's a favorite deck of yours, anything? Like, what's one like little gift or little je ne sais quoi that you want to share?
The first thing that pops into my mind is singing. I think that for me, I've had to do a lot of work around throat chakra stuff, and singing is something that brings me joy. It brings me so much joy. I actually told Sonia I have a playlist of songs that I like to sing along to, and it has everything from Natalie Imbruglia to like Megan Thee Stallion. It's very diverse.
Yes.
It's a very, very fun one. So anytime I'm like driving in my car or at home by myself, I love to sing. And that also, it makes me feel really connected and in my body. And I mean, there's so much to be said for vibration. And I think, even
I love it. I've been here. She's been singing in the shower. We've been having some music, and it's fun because she's been like just that being in that high vibe has also made me want to sing more, which I love. I'm like,
I feel like everyone should sing. And, people get hung up on being a good singer or, in any sort of creative practice. And it's like trying to really just enjoy the process of making and the process of creating and how singing feels, and not getting hung up on like if it sounds good and just feeling it. Exactly. And having ownership of that. And even going back to talking to people about our spiritual practice, I feel like when you have to talk about it, you have ownership of it. And it helps you to just really be like, this is mine. This is my practice. This is my intuitive experience, my intuition. And it's
I love that. I'm like, every time everybody, thank you, Haley.
well,
Yay. And I'm so grateful for my best friend in the whole wide world. And I'm so excited to share her with you today. Thank you, Haley.
Well, and I'm so grateful that you've been in my life and like totally helped encourage and nurture my own spiritual practice. And I'm just really grateful that all of you guys get to learn from her. Like me.
Yay, we love you. Thank you. Bye.